two important words in your book, and this is rent or hire. When do you use rent and when do you use hire? Rent and hire mean the same, but we normally use rent for a longer period of time. Longer period of time. Example, you rent a flat or an apartment, and hire is for a short time. Example, you hire skis, you hire a bike, maybe for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But when you rent an apartment, you rent for 20 days, you rent for a week, or you rent for a month. Right? So it's longer time. You use rent for longer time. Use hire for shorter time. But both of them has got the same meaning. Right? So with a car, you can use both of them. It's correct to say rent a car, or it's correct to say hire a car. But according to the time you're going to use it. So only with the word car. Good? Now, let's do number 3. Continue. I will clean this part. And then we continue with number 3. As a number 3, we've got adjectives. Match the questions and answers. Hope you did this exercise. And we continue with this one. What was the weather like? What was? When you use was, we talked about the past, not the today. Yesterday or the day before yesterday. What was the hotel like? It was. What was the town like? Number 4. What were the people like? What were the people like? They were. What was the food like? It was. So the answers are, you've got affirmative, comfortable, serious, negative, basic, dirty, uncomfortable. Affirmative, for people, friendly, helpful. Negative, unfriendly, unhelpful. Beautiful, lovely. Negative, noisy, crowded. Delicious, for things, you can say for food. Delicious, nothing special, but disgusting. And then, talking about the weather was warm, sunny, negative, very windy, foggy, and cloudy. What about the answers? Number 1, what was the weather like? It was warm, sunny. It was windy, foggy, or cloudy. So that's the answer. Number 1, what was the weather like? It was warm. It was warm, sunny. What else? We said, it was very windy, comma, foggy, cloudy. Continue. Number 2. This is number 1. Number 2, the question is, what was the hotel things like? It was comfortable. So we said it was in the past, comfortable. It was comfortable. What else? And luxurious, another affirmative. Look serious. Negative. It was. It was. You said basic, dirty, and uncomfortable. Basic, dirty, and uncomfortable. Good. Continue. Number 3. The question is, what was that town like? It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Beautiful. What else it says? Lovely. Lovely. Affirmative. Negative, we can say it was noisy and crowded. Noisy, crowded. Crowded. Continue. Number 4. What were the people like? People, they were friendly. You can say, number 4, they were friendly. They were friendly. What else it says? They were friendly, helpful. Helpful. Negative. They were, they were. Plural form. They were. No, it was. They were, because we are talking about people. Plural form. And it said they were unfriendly and unhelpful. The opposite. Friendly is unfriendly, unfriendly, and unhelpful. Good. We've got positive and negative adjectives. An affirmative, we can say lovely, wonderful, fantastic, great. We can say okay, not bad, and all right. As a negative, we consider awful, horrible, and terrible. Those are adjectives. As you see, adjectives goes after the verb. This is the simple parts of the verb being. So you use adjectives after the verb being. Well, we finished with this part of your book. And now we are going to go back to page 12. Well, let's continue with number 2, reading. In the morning, I told you through Edmodo platform to do also the reading. Reading is for you. What am I going to do? I'm going to answer your questions. Hope you have read it in advance. Number 1, it says, where did Joe go on holiday? As number 1, what is the answer? Let's talk about Joe. Joe. Number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. As a number 1, we say, where did Joe go? Where did Joe go? The answer is simply Thailand. Number 2, where did he go with? There was another person. He went with his girlfriend. Number 3, where did he stay? He said he stayed in expensive hotels, in expensive hotels. Number 4, we said, what was the weather like? We said the weather was lovely. Remember, lovely is an adjective. So we use the simple past of the verb be, lovely. And number 5, he said, why didn't he enjoy his holiday? He said why? That's because who? Linda, because Linda started flirting with a boy, and they argued, they argued about everything, about everything. So when you say flirting is when a woman are with a boy and you are like doing like something like that, all right? So that's flirting. Imagine you are with your boyfriend and you are with another boy flirting. Yeah, that's the way. That's why Joe was so angry, and after that she wanted to spend the time with expensive hotels. So they were arguing about everything all the time. At the end, they broke out their relationship. This is the answer for Joe. Now continue with who? Laura. Laura is the second one. Now, I will clean this one and I will write about the answers about Laura. Good. Now we talk about Laura. Laura. Question number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the same questions. As another one is said, where did Laura go on holiday? And the answer is, she went to Venice. She went to Venice. Question number 2 is said, where or who did she go with? Who did she go with? She went with her two friends. Her two friends, Isabel and Linda. Question number 3, it says, where did she stay? Answer, did she? In group, the 3 of them, they rented, okay? That small, they rented that small apartment. That small apartment for a week. For a week. Correct. Question number 4. What was the weather like? The weather was perfect. And finally, why didn't Laura enjoy her holiday? Because Linda, we said because Linda was what? So mean. The word mean like that. She doesn't want to pay, or she didn't want to pay anything. She didn't want to pay anything. She didn't buy anything for them. She didn't help with anything. She just spent the time with the money Laura and Isabel spent. They booked everything, restaurants and hotels, what else? The party, dinners, So she was so mean, right? Good. Now, these are the answers for exercise number 2 about the reading, correct? Now, I will clean this one and I will continue with grammar, but this time I'm going to tell you about regular and irregular verbs. For that,